astrologer Wonder Girl, and I am here to give you your weekly forecast for the week of Monday, May 15th through Sunday, May 22nd. Now first, before we get started, a few announcements. One, I've noticed that my videos have been blurry lately and very, very pixelated, and I'm not quite sure why. It happened during Mercury retrograde when Mercury was conjunct Uranus, and now that that's kind of out of the clear, I'm hoping that I can fix the problem, that I can address it, and then I can up the quality again and have better videos, because I do have nice equipment, so I don't know what's going wrong here. Second, I hope you like my flower crown, trying to get interesting and fun for the spring, so I'm doing that. And then my last announcement is I'm trying to do more horoscopes, so I'm hoping I can start doing weekly horoscopes by sign, the videos, make them live. I'm also going to do a business horoscope for entrepreneurs, makers, creators, anyone that's trying to sell a skill or a talent that they have for money to make into a business that they love, because that's very close to my heart. And I'm also going to try to pick up my daily horoscopes again in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm thinking at the new moon in Gemini, since that's my full moon, or my new moon, since I'm a Gemini. So be on the lookout for those things. Now let's go ahead and get into your forecast for this week. Now last week when I talked to you, I said that we were finally stepping into a new world, a new land, a new beginning of a person that we really truly want to be, or have always been meant to be in some way, and we were finally being able to live it. But that it didn't come without its hiccups, it didn't come without its problems, it didn't come without huge fears about our life, about who we are, about what we want, and about where our life is going. You know, especially with the full moon in Scorpio, it brings up a lot of deep feelings, a lot of fears that you have to fight through, and you have to have the courage to move forward in. So that was last week. Now this week, as we move into it, we're coming into a time where there's a lot of forward momentum, a lot of forward thinking, us really thinking about the future, wanting to move forward, wanting to build this life that we've been formulating for so long, but needing to address some important questions first and handle and manage, I would say, some important issues in our life before we can truly move forward very quickly in the way that we want to move in. So even though we're in this new world, okay, we're there, it's here, we still have some things that we need to quite work out, and we need to figure out before it is that we can fully embrace this new us that is beginning. So it's like we're there and we got to make a few adjustments. All right. A lot of these adjustments are going to have to do with relationships. I want to say in a lot of ways, a lot of patience in relationships is going to be needed, especially this week where we kind of see the future. We see what we want, especially when it comes to other people, the other people we want in our lives. But we do have to wait a little bit for other people to get on board with us, or for other people to understand what it is that's happening and what's going on, and to wait for everything, especially when it comes to people and the things that we love, to finally fall into place, even though they're starting to get there. Okay, and this week especially, when we're communicating, the beginning of the week, we're doing a lot of communicating and thinking about our future, about what we want, about what makes us happy, about where our life is going, and how it is that we can get there. Because of course we've got Mercury in Aries in a trine with the North Node, which just moved into Leo, okay? And these are fire signs, so they like to communicate and think fast and find your passion and what you love and move forward on it, okay? But it's not just this forward movement and thinking about the future and, you know, communicating about the future that we're doing. We're also having to learn this week how to put our plans and our thoughts and our visions of what could be in place in a very practical way. That's because we do have Mercury that moves into Taurus at the beginning of this week, indicating it's not just about visions and plans and what we want and what's great. It's also about how they work in reality, what we value, what's really important to us, so that these things last the test of time and don't just pass us by, so to speak, and aren't just like a passing fling in a way, you know? So when Mercury comes into Taurus, it's asked to slow down, think about the important things, think about your money, think about your relationships, communicate about money and relationships and your values in a lot of ways. So that's a big thing that is coming up this week, especially, is really communicating, thinking about what you want, and also how to put them into action in some way. As we're doing this, there could be some things that happen very quickly, perhaps unexpectedly, unexpectedly on our journey and some of our commitments as we move forward in life to reach our dreams, to reach what it is that we really, really love. So be on the lookout for that. Could also be some sparks of insight, some genius that comes to us about what we really want, about where our life is going, that for some reason didn't come to us before, that we had to wait this long to finally get to, okay? And that's because we've got Saturn and Sagittarius in a trine with Uranus and Aries, okay? Uranus being the spark of insight, being unusual news, happenings, things going on there, and of course Saturn being our commitments, our journey, where our life is, what we need to focus on right now. A lot coming up and happening that we're gonna have to learn how to integrate these unexpected things and these insights into our journey in a way that works. And because it's a trine, I don't see it being that hard. I see it kind of happening very naturally in a lot of ways. With this week, we're also trying to move past some of our old pain, some of our hurt, some of the things that were bringing us down in the past. You know, it's like we've had some hard times with things, you know, especially since January, and we're finally coming to a spot where we're gonna move past these. We've got this, we can do it, you know? The things that were holding us back before are not holding us back anymore. We just need to be confident, we need to be patient, we need to know that we are there, we are closer than we think we are, and that things are moving forward in the right direction. The problems, and I don't even want to say problems, but the difficulty does come a little bit later in the week when we have some more of these hard aspects appearing. That is because we have the Sun in Taurus, which is squaring the nodes, which have just moved into Leo. Now, I have this aspect natally, okay? When the sun or any planet squares the nodes, it's called a skip step. Okay, it's where we try to move forward in life to reach our dreams, to do what we want to do, to live this big life without actually focusing on our identity, on what we want, on the squared part. You know, the planets that's been squared and what's important. And so what this aspect is telling you is before you move forward in this new direction, and you're gonna want to because they're in fire signs and the nodes just changed signs and we've been waiting so long for this moment, think for a second about what you really want, about where your heart is, about who you are, and make sure that you don't forget to integrate your heart and your identity truly into where you are going on this journey. Because if you try to move forward in your life without thinking about what it is that you want, where your life is going, what's going on here, then a few months down the road or a few years even, you're gonna get to this final place where you've always wanted to be per se, and then realize that it's not everything you thought it was. Realize that you're missing something, you need to go back to get it. So it's important here that as you're moving forward and being very hopeful about the future and making plans and a lot of things and genius insights and unexpected things coming up on your journey, that you really do need to take the step back and think about, is this something I value with Mercury and Taurus? And is this something that is true to me, that resonates with my heart, that is what I have always wanted, okay? And make sure that you're integrating that and bringing that on this new path with you as you move towards the future. A lot is also going to come up with relationships at the end of the week. That's when we have Venus opposite Jupiter, which I mentioned earlier and in my monthlies, okay? And every planet in the past few months has come through Aries, almost every planet, the fast moving ones at least, and come into this opposition with Jupiter, and Venus is the last one to do it. And Venus rules our money. It also rules our relationships in a lot of ways, and especially with Mercury being in Taurus and the Sun finishing up in Taurus, a lot of this week too is going to be about relationships, be about money, be about our values, and really having to choose the values that, and the relationships and the money and the situations that work for us, that are the best for us. It's not time to compromise your wishes away, compromise your heart away, compromise your money away, or your values. You really have to hold true this week to who you are, to what you want, to what resonates with you, and move forward with that. Okay, and that could be hard because you may upset some people, you may upset some relationships, you know, it may take some time for people to come on board with it, but you have to stay true to your heart, you have to do what's you. Don't be unnecessarily harsh or brutal either when it comes to this kind of thing, but at the same time, make sure that you do what it is that you need to do to build the life that you want to build and move forward in that direction. Okay, after that happens, the Sun at the very end of the week is going to enter into Gemini. So it's Gemini season. Okay, I love this because I am a Gemini. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that in the next month. or two when we're in Gemini season. But I'm so excited because that's when you get a much lighter energy that comes in. Gemini likes to play, it likes to have fun, you know, it likes to be flirty and gather information and, you know, learn new things. And so we're gonna have a little bit of a lighter energy that's gonna come in starting at the end of the week, where maybe some of the heaviness that we experienced, and the sun isn't gonna enter Gemini until Sunday of next week. So some of the heaviness that we experienced towards the middle of last week, going into the weekend, is then going to start to lighten up a little bit. Things are going to start to move forward in some ways. We're not done with all of the hard aspects, as I believe Mars is still going to oppose some other planets. It's got an opposition with Saturn coming up. I think in June it's eventually going to be in an opposition with Pluto. So we still have some things coming up that can be a little difficult, but we're starting to slowly and gradually move away from that into a much, much better, more enjoyable time. So be on the lookout for that and be ready. Now your card for this week is the Six of Swords reversed. This is another card I get a lot for some reason. The Six of Swords reversed is about us entering a new phase of life, entering a new time, a new season where things are just different. Old rules are different, they don't apply moving forward. When it's reversed, it does indicate that we are afraid to move forward in some way. We've had these old emotional attachments, these old things that are coming up that are holding us back. You know, that we can't move forward because we've got an old relationship that won't like this. An old group of people we're a part of won't like this, you know, because this is something we've never done before, can't do this. And this card is really asking you to address some of those things. What are these fears? What are these things holding you back? Why are they? What's going on here? And to overcome them and to not let them hold you back and to move forward. And that is especially true when you have the sun square the nodes. You got to figure out you, who you are and what you want. Okay, when you've got a lot of Taurus energy talking about values and relationships, and when you've got Venus in Aries where it doesn't like to be, forcing you to really put your needs and your interests first and move forward into this new life that you know you need to move into, you know is right for you, and you know deep down somewhere in your heart is gonna work if you just keep moving forward. So keep doing it. Don't lose hope, don't lose faith, have the courage and keep pushing through, because things are getting better. They are gonna get better, even though they may not feel it. They're gonna get better, and especially I think at the new moon that comes up in Gemini on what is it, the 25th of this month, the 26th, things are gonna get good. So just hang in there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you later.